Can you hear me? Let's brighten this up a bit. Hold on. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? TRC with Ruth A. Marty. Welcome. I'm ready for this live too. I'm by myself today. Even though it's casual gems, I'm casual, but the conversation is not going to be casual. Are we ready? Okay, let me just put some music on so that it's not just my dry voice. Yes, girl, we can hear you. Yes. Let us do this. Okay, so how should I say this? The breakdown of today's live stream is going to be, we're going to start with Poor Man Podcast. If you don't know him, I'm going to drop all his details down below. He is an amazing content creator. I absolutely love watching him. He adds so much depth to the conversation. And sometimes I struggle to add extra information to his content. That's why I don't do much reactions to his content. However, he had the full interview of Cam Newton in his most recent video. So we're going to play it from him. And obviously we got Bay, the Kevin Samuels. He also shared a snippet in his car. So we'll dive into that. And then Cam himself will be joining us on this live stream. We're speaking it into existence. No, well, we've got his explanation video that we're going to break down together. And we're just going to learn and try to unpack the conversation because, you know, this channel is for women who want to be married to marriage-minded men. So if that is you, please open your ears because we're going to be learning some stuff today. So let's just get right into it.
The upbringing, you growing up, what was that like? How was that?
So I'm not one of these dudes to be like, bro, I'm gutter, I'm this, I'm that. Man, I had a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents have been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a 3-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is...
Okay, sorry to cut it off just so early on. He has set the premise for his upbringing, okay? So if you haven't necessarily grown up in a 3-parent household, this is going to be a foreign concept to you. So this is from his perspective. So if we're going to learn how to be objective, ladies, we need to understand it from his perspective, okay? I just wanted to lay that foundation there, just in case you didn't, you know, grow up in a 3-parent household and they haven't been together for that long. You won't be able to truly understand or empathize or go into his shoes somehow and understand what he's talking about. Again, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, but you probably know whose side I'm on right now. So ladies, buckle up.
Is a person who's just, you know, girl, I'm a bad bitch, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
You know, and it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way, not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs.
Right.
Right?
He said, handling your own, that's the boss bee bit, and then knowing how to, okay? So please bear that in mind. He didn't just say not being able to handle your own and focusing solely on a man. So this is how you break down concepts. This is how you listen objectively. So he hasn't said don't be a boss bee or whatever it is you want to be. He is saying if you're going to do all that and handle yourself, and, you know, be on top of the world, know how to work in tandem, especially if you want to be with a marriage-minded man. You have to be able to handle both. TRC, are you still here? I don't know whose side you're on, but hopefully you're still here. All right, let's go.
And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You know, you don't.
Second. What did you say? They look the part, but don't act the part. Sheesh. I think there's so many women who know how to look the part, especially when it comes to femininity, the outward adornment, you know, the hair's looking right, the nails are looking right, the lips are looking right, the clothes are looking right, but the mind is dirty, the heart is messed up. But those are the things that help maintain or grow a long-lasting and healthy relationship. But no one really cares about that, because they want to do the first part, which is get the attention, but they don't know what to do with the attention once they have received it. So yeah, that's what he was saying there, and I absolutely agree with him. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit because he mentioned something there that's going to trigger a lot of people.
Right, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know, like I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
Right.
No, a lot of women, now the kickback of that is be quiet.
So he said what? You don't know how to be quiet, you don't know how to let a man lead, and you don't know how to cook. So he hasn't said that don't focus on what you need to do. Focus on how handling your business and all of that good stuff. Do that, but also remember that all these three qualities are also important in maintaining a healthy relationship. I don't know why people are so triggered. He hasn't said, hey, come and listen solely to a man. He is saying, if you're doing all these things, acting a part on all these things, have you put some thought into all the other aspects that also hold a good and healthy relationship together? That is what he's saying. And obviously the answer is no. So let us cancel him. Gosh. All right, let's go.
Lead.
Right.
No, a lot of women, now the kickback of that is be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet for the man and handle his business. You know, that's what they say. Or I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna be submissive to a man and handle his business. That's what they're gonna say. So what is your?
But it's ways to do it, and I'm not just about to sit up here and beat up my.
That's that conditional femininity. Welcome, Marco Polo. Hi. That's that conditional femininity. I will do this when this. I will be this when that. X, Y, and Z. It's all under the premise, or should I say, it's all under the assumption that it's all under the assumption that you already are feminine. But most of these women are not feminine. They're just using it as a deflection or as a facade. Because if you are feminine, if you are soft, if you are kind, if you are gentle, regardless of what setting you are in, if the man is there or not, beloved, yes, beloved, we are still going to be feminine. So what do we say to that, please? What do we say to that? You can have an amazing man, and because you haven't been able to practice these things, your degrees didn't teach you these things, you know, your corporate ladder thing did not teach you any of these things. Therefore, you're going to blow it. You're going to blow it. What he is saying right now, what I'm getting anyway, is, hey, handle your own. Be all these things, soft life, blah, blah, blah. But also learn, or should I say build relationship skills as well. That's what I'm hearing. I'm not hearing any misogynistic this thing, but we're going to go into that in a minute.
My queen.
No, I ain't saying like that.
But I'm also gonna also tell the men to start being men, bro.
Right.
It's
real, bro. Yeah.
That sucker shit should not be rewarded.
And what sucker shit? So,
you know, when a person carries himself social media wise and it's a fraud in real life.
Okay.
One and only response to Cam Newton's interview. And if you didn't see it, here's the gist. You can only be a bad bitch or a true woman if you fulfill a man's needs. Okay. Let them speak. So, or you let them lead. Okay. Fair enough. No, not fair enough. It's 2020.
First of all, when are we going to listen to understand rather than hearing to respond? My girl is just hearing and filtering through her emotions. She's already triggered. She can't even get her words out. It's like, calm down. You know, the conversation is not going anywhere. It's okay to pause. Not everything, switch on the camera and share your opinion. Not everything you have to do that, sweetheart. Because now you are rolling with half-baked truths. You didn't sit down and assess the facts. You're running with it because you know people will be in your comments saying, hey, queen, and yes, you're right. But at the end of the day, you know, all this up and down, this hoo-ha, at the end of the day, 10 years down the line, you are the only one who will be reaping the consequences of your own actions or lack thereof. But, you know, at the end of the day, we still need to do what we can to speak to those who are blinded and maybe ignorant, you know. That's why I do what I do. I'm not going to sit here and say they're not going to listen, so I'm not going to speak. I'm saying this woman over here is just talking and exchanging air, but not rolling with facts. She's just moving with emotion and still thinking that those things are facts, you know. But yeah, let's keep going.
Me too, babe. Wake up. Also, you've got me messed up. And leave. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. No, not fair enough. It's 2022, babe. Wake up.
And this whole it's 2022. Wake up. Yeah, they are waking up. They are waking up, and I'm so happy. You know, I always say on this channel, men are waking up, and I'm so glad. Yeah, you can continue barking. You can continue charging your phone, your laptops, your devices, and backing online and getting the echo chamber on your side. But at the end of the day, I kid you not, most of these women in these circles, they are listening and they are implementing change, but they will still hail you as the queen for your foolery. But only you will be going down the drain. But yeah, this 2022, wake up, this, that, and other. Don't be afraid to go against the norm. Not everything is a trend that you need to latch onto. It's okay to say, actually, what he's saying makes sense. Or maybe exit from that group of friends that you have, you know, if you don't feel secure enough to have your own opinion or a different opinion to that group. You know, this woman is just barking.
Also, you've got me messed up. If you think I am doing things for a grown-ass man that he is fully capable of doing himself, I married a man, not a baby. Thank you very much. I will be a great wife someday. Believe that. But I am not at your every beck and call. You know why? Because I'm living my own life too, babe.
Oh my God.
Period.
Ugh, gosh. Gosh. This is live, Jemima. This is live. Comport yourself. These women. First of all, do you even know what a wife entails? You know how to put yourself aside and put someone ahead of you. Yeah, forget the man. What about your children? Do we know what a helpmate is? You know, this is where we have redefined what husband and wife is because we want to roll with our own terms of what things are. The thing is, then go to the people who agree or want to move in that setting. But these women are the same women who want to be taken care of. You want traditional men. Meanwhile, moving reckless like this, you're moving like modern women. You don't know what a helpmate is. You don't know how to be a wife. But at the same time, are rolling with these big assumptions, big statements, and big, or should I say rigid mindsets, and hoping, not even hoping, demanding that the 10% or this valuable man, suitable man, will just pluck you boy, I'm a woman and I don't even want to deal with this, let alone a man who works for, a big company or goes to work 45 hours a week, stressed at his workplace, to pay for a house or to pay for a roof over this person's head. If I was a man, I would not do that. But yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Cam, that wasn't it. Wasn't it?
Man.
Yikes.
These girls that have a...
Yeah, before poor man gets in there, this woman is rolling. Most women are rolling as if they have the power. The only power you have is what's in between your legs, not in between your coochie. That'll be a lot. Oh, PG. People, men are the ones that control access to relationships and marriages. Unless you're one of these new age women who wants to propose to a man. But hey, that's for another conversation, isn't it? Gosh, you remember this is live. Oh, I can't edit it. But yeah, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, women, we don't really have much control over, let's say, relationship. We do have control in the relationship, but in order to attain, let's say, a long-lasting relationship or be in one or even marriage, the man is the one who controls or holds the key to those things. That is why, you need to compete, you need to prove yourself, or you need to show, or should I say, bring something of value that they value actually to the table. Okay, so I need you ladies to, I need us ladies to bear this in mind. Yes, we are in control of certain things within our role and within our duties and responsibilities. But when it comes to the man picking, it says he who finds a wife, he has to find you in the wife element. But if you're not exhibiting anything like that, he's just going to walk past you, So that is what I'm barking on about. How are you in the chat? Hopefully everyone's okay. I hope I haven't lost you already. Gosh. Yeah, this one's gonna be fire. I think I'm sweating already. Well, yeah, let's keep going.
A BBL but can't make a BL.
Ooh, spitting.
Man.
Yikes.
These girls that have a BBL but can't make a BLT. So you mean to tell me you're not willing to do anything for your husband because he...
Okay, Poor Man Podcast, BLT, bacon, lettuce, and tomato. If you didn't know, BLT is that. Well said, sis. I'm glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here, sis. I'm getting hot. Let me take off my socks. The conversation is about to get peak, isn't it? Gosh. Yeah, the socks are off. Okay. You can get a BBL. You cannot make a BLT. Chai! Poor Man Podcast. Please, he did not come to play. I love fire. Let me go back because I need to hear those bars again.
Wasn't it?
Man.
Yikes.
These girls that have a BBL but can't make a BLT. So you mean to tell me you're not willing to do anything for your husband because he's not a child, he's a grown man, and he should be able to do them things for himself. But you expect him to pay for all the bills, don't you? You expect him to pay for the drinks, to pay for the food, to pump the gas, hold the door open, paint the back porch, and God forbid an axe murderer walks into the house. You expect him to literally risk his life, yet you're not even willing to reciprocate value in any kind of way. That's like going to a job interview and saying, I don't want to do anything, but I still want the job. Why are women okay with serving their bosses people who can get them fired and replaced in a day, but won't serve their husband, somebody who's devoted their entire lives to them? And that's the problem with modern women. Y'all don't want to reciprocate value. Y'all want a man to maintain his traditional role, yet y'all get to do whatever you want. To be considered to be valuable, you have to offer value to other people. Y'all refuse to do that, and then you get surprised when you get replaced by just another pretty face because that's all you have to offer. Here's an example of offering a man value.
Ooh. So much fire. That K dude. Welcome. Chef Jemima is cooking. We're cooking once again this evening. Yes. But this time I've got extra ingredients. We've got Poor Man Podcast here and he is spitting. Okay. Gosh. So much fire. There's just so much in here. women. I'm speaking to the women who are blind at the moment, not the ones who are set in their ways. If you're set in your ways, this video is not for you, innit? Because clearly, you know what you want, you know your worth, and you're gonna get whatever you want. You're gonna manifest a 6-figure nigga. Gosh. But anywho, I'm talking to the ones who actually want to learn. I'm talking to the ones who want to be realistic, or at least try, okay? Now, I understand that maybe in your past, relationships, or anything of that matter, you may have picked wrong, or you picked right and it turned wrong. You know, all of these things. Maybe now that you're hearing that, these are the things you need to do for a man, or a healthy man, or things that you need to do to maintain a healthy relationship. So it's not necessarily you're doing it for the man, but you're both doing it to maintain a healthy relationship. Now that you're hearing these things, the subject matter in your mind is always casting back to this person that you dated or was with, who betrayed you in the past. So it's not really aligning, and I'm trying to empathize with you and let you know that, look, healing is what needs to come first, okay? Once you've been able to address your past, you know, the toxic relationship, or the relationship that broke you or made you guarded, okay, in a therapy office, hopefully, I think that's where you need to start, because it can be a very muddy and messy place. Once you've been able to do that and you understand how you participated willingly or unwillingly, consciously or unconsciously, directly or indirectly to your own suffering, once you're able to acknowledge that, put an action plan in place to be more healthy and attract a healthy relationship, this is when this conversation is going to start making sense to you, okay? When you're in a broken state, it's very hard for you to wrap your head around serving somebody. It doesn't even have to be a man. Serving somebody, being quiet, or knowing how to be quiet, you know, or putting someone's needs above your own. We need to be able to learn these things, but the only way we'll be able to learn these things is if we're coming from a place of openness. But we can only be open once we've assessed our past, okay? So I just wanted to put that one out there. But let's continue.
You so that you're harder to replace as a woman. I make videos. That means my wife takes care of everything outside of the videos so that I can focus on what makes us the most money. She knows all my favorite meals, and she knows how I like them prepared. When I need to travel, she knows the companies I like to fly with, and she knows the hotels that I like to stay in. Also, she plugs in the information so that I get flight miles. She also books the car rental. She helps me stay active in my family life. Sometimes because I'm so busy with the videos, I'll forget birthdays. She goes, oh, remember your sister's birthday is in a couple weeks. Make sure you get her something. Mom's birthday is next week, whatever it may be. She keeps me up to date with those things so that I stay engaged with my family, because that's important. These are just a few examples, but I hope I'm painting a picture. If I wanted to
yes, woman, and I'm so happy you have these things in your wife. I'm so happy you do. I know a woman's probably hearing, is she your secretary though? I didn't sign up for this though. Lady, I'm not talking to you. This video is not even for you, okay? You can just exit stage left and right. Droit à gauche. You can fling yourself out. We're not talking about you, because trust me, when you become a mother, you wear all these hats, okay? So when you are a wife, there's so many things you do just to make life easier for that relationship, because you know at the end of the day, a happy husband is a happy home, because he knows a happy wife is a happy home and happy children. You know, there is that teamwork. So anything she can do to make life easier for the husband, she's going to do. If that means she needs to be the quote-unquote secretary in these moments. So I hope that wasn't taken out of context, but I think it's amazing that a woman would do that. And, you know, there's so many things that we can do when we know that we are loved, when we know there is reciprocity. That's why I'm talking to healthy women. I'm not talking to the ones who are doing tit for tat. I'm not talking to the ones who are all for what's it called, conditional femininity. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones who are ready to do the work, ready to pour themselves out because they know they're in a healthy place and they know they will be reciprocated because they're going to be picking healthy men. Okay, they're not going to be dilly-dallying and playing games. Are we still there in the chat? Let's go.
Replace my wife, I couldn't just replace her with a pretty face because she knows the specific things that I enjoy. I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, and I'm not saying this is how you have to do it, but the idea that you expect a man to do everything for you, but you're not going to do anything for him because he's not a child is freak shit. Y'all say y'all want these super successful men, but y'all have conflating ideas of what that means. Y'all want a man to be able to lead a team to a Super Bowl or lead a company, but you don't think that same man is going to want to lead his household? I personally think the red pill community is having a decent effect. I'm starting to see more and more men start to wake up to this stuff, and these conversations are being had more often in pop culture. Due to the sexual liberation and feminist movement.
Wow, that was a lot in there. What I was going to say is about the whole men waking up. It's a good thing. I think it's a great thing, okay? Because and I would say the other thing that I'm very happy about is social media. Because a lot of these women are telling on themselves. They're weeding out the chaff so much easier, you know? They're putting themselves out there. They're telling you what's in their mind. There was a time, I know growing up, you always wanted to know what was in a man's mind. I know I was like, I was very curious. I'm still very curious. But now we have the manosphere. They're telling you what they're thinking. Meanwhile, we're like, no, you're not. You don't think that. Let me tell you what you should be thinking, you know? Ladies, we need to listen. We need to listen to understand, and then we need to implement change because the men are learning. You will have to continue proving yourself because we are the ones who have made this happen. You know, traditionally, men want to open the doors. They want to do this. But now all of a sudden, women want to do it all. So now they see women as one. So if you're a traditional woman, you need to move in a way that they will know that you're traditional. Because the modern women are already moving like the modern women anyway. So you do need to move differently, or not even move differently, because you are already traditional. But let's say, yeah, show it a lot more, I would say. Because men are waking up, and now we're all pretty much on the same level, women, aside from our outside look and all of that. They want to know what's in our heads. Sorry. They want to know what's in our heads, okay? They're watching. Sometimes they won't even clap back. They won't say anything. They may just ghost. Is that good or bad? You know, I don't advocate for people ghosting people, but I understand why people do it because uncomfortable conversations are uncomfortable, you know? So I just thought I'd put that one out there. Men are waking up, therefore women, because of our own fights or our own liberation this and liberation that, we are going to have to prove ourselves. We are going to show more effort. We are going to have to show more effort so that they know that, oh, this is different. The other thing is, like, I read comments a lot because I like to know what's in people's heads. And it's like, whenever a man, or should I say in the comments, if a woman's like, oh, but this is peanuts. I make this for my husband, or I make this for my boyfriend. I do this for my boyfriend. The way the men jump on there, like, wow, you are rare, you are a gem, like this. I'm like, hey, traditional women, wake up. This is your time. Do 1, 2, 3 things. You'll be wiped up quickly, and you'll be out of the dating. You'll be out of the dating market. Trust me. Yep, we're boo-booing out here. Oh gosh. All right, let's go.
Movement teaching women that it's okay to manipulate and take advantage of men. Men are starting to learn that good character is far more important than just good looks. Actually, go back in the video where that girl's talking, close your eyes and ask yourself, is this what you want to hear for the next 60 years? Is this the kind of person that you want to marry? Not only is Cam Newton talking about a preference, which we know men are not allowed to have, there's always some word to shame a man that has a...
Sorry, guys. Oh, Matthew. This is my first ever super chat. Oh, Matthew is such a valued, I'd say friend, you know. Oh, thank you so much, Matthew. I'm preaching. I am preaching. Wait till I get to Kevin Samuels and Cam's bit. Hopefully, I won't take too much of your time, people. But yeah, thank you, Matthew. All right, let's continue.
The preference. If he doesn't want his wife to be fat, he's a fat shamer. If he doesn't want his wife to have been around the block, he's a slut shamer. If he wants his wife to be a traditional woman, he's sexist. Heck, if he wants his wife to be a real woman, as in a biological woman, he's called transphobic. But also, Cam Newton was absolutely right when he said some women just don't know when to be quiet. I've seen men take many ass whoopings trying to defend a woman that just didn't know when to shut up. Remember this video?
Shut up! Shut up! She told you to shut up. No! Shut up and get the fuck out! Touch me!
Why is it okay for this woman to talk to this grown man this way?
I remember this video. And I'm not ashamed to say, I was like, oh, that woman. I forgot, this is live in him. Gosh. How can you be doing this? And this man is tall. He's taller than you and you're on a step. And you're still barking. This is the thing with women. I'm always saying that verbal abuse, physical abuse. I do not condone physical abuse. I've spoken about this in one of the live streams when I think Kevin was talking about domestic discipline. Yeah, because a subscriber had, someone commented about Kevin condoning domestic abuse. So I was just thinking to myself, okay, at what point are we able to tell women to exercise this one, the buccal cavity, this one, just at what point are we able to say this? Isn't telling women no, how do I phrase this? Cam Newton is saying, learn how to be quiet. This is a skill any human being needs to learn, not just women or men. And you need to know it not because you're dealing with a man, just generally in life. This woman could have easily been knocked out like KO. You know, and that man that was meant to be protecting her. Gosh, the fact that he doesn't know, I think she's the one that wears the pants in the home. That's why he was knocked out. Sorry, darling, but you need to know how to control your woman, innit? Yes, and I said control because that woman was out of control. Yes, women, sometimes we need to be controlled. Yes, I said it.
Knowing this man could potentially hurt her because she understands that she has somebody that's going to step up and protect her. Now this man just got knocked out because his wife didn't know when to be quiet. And this woman talking about some, I'm trying to do me. When you get married, it's not about you anymore. It's about the team as a collective getting to a specific goal. And sometimes the best way to do that is to have one person make the final decision. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to know your role and let the leader lead. For example, I play rugby for the USA national team. My job was to score tries. We had a team captain. We named him the team captain because he's the most knowledgeable and logical thinker on the team. He's not going to make decisions based off of emotion. He's going to make decisions based on logic. We have one captain because when that ball goes into the air, he is the one that has to call the plays. And if we have two captains, they might be calling different plays and the team's going to get split. We're going to get absolutely destroyed. Because I'm the scorer, sometimes I go to the captain. I say, hey, captain, this is what it looks like on my end. He looks a little soft. He's been playing me weak. He looks a little tired too. Maybe we should run this play. I trust the captain to make the final decision. Sometimes the captain goes, yeah, that's a good idea. The dude is looking a little soft. We can run that play. And sometimes he goes, no, that ain't a good idea because I know this dude. He's just baiting you. He's a really good player. Either way, I trust the captain to get us to the place that we want to go as a team, as a unit. And it's best to have just one person making that decision. And because I know my role and I trust him to do his role and lead the team to victory, I have a 2019 Pan American Games bronze medal. Women have to understand that men don't get appreciation.
I love that. What Poor Man Podcast just demonstrated there was knowing how to just fall back and let someone lead. You know, he knows how to be quiet, essentially. That's what he's just demonstrated. It doesn't mean he doesn't have an opinion. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have a way in which something needs to be done. He voices it out, but he also understands that there are roles. And this person who is in the leadership role knows what the right thing to do in those moments will be. Gosh, my English. Because As Poor Man Podcast says, he knows his role to the T, but he knows that there's a captain, so he will see the bigger picture. And as women, we have the head of the household, i.e. the husband. He sees the bigger picture. Yes, we can bring our opinions. Yes, we can bring our ideas, our values, our whatever ways of doing things. Sometimes our way will be what the family will take. But we also need to be able to say, okay, whichever way you want us to take, babe, hey, you're the leader here. I want to follow. You know, we need to be okay with that. And I think that's what women, I don't know. I think the reason why, again, we're struggling to align these things is because the subject matter in our brains is already flawed and we don't want to get it checked. Get it checked so that you can be objective. English uno. Zeho to Jemima. Absolutely. Yeah, this is what's happening. It's been a long day, okay? It's been a very long day, okay? And that's the reason. And to be fair, as the night goes on, there's going to be a whole load of gibberish. That's why I tend to bring guests on, because I get them to talk and then I can think and, you know, calibrate. But because it's just me, yeah, you're going to just have to deal with that, isn't it? All right, let's go.
Post. We don't get told that we're beautiful. We don't get told that we're doing a good job every single day. Men work every single day for mostly the benefit of other people, whether that be his family or for the corporation. So when a man finds a woman that appreciates him and is willing to reciprocate value, he will literally give you the shirt off of his back. And it doesn't even have to be much. Till next time.
Oh, that is
Mahabu.
Oh, man. I told you guys, if you don't know Poor Man Podcast, please check him out, because he does amazing reactions, amazing reviews, and I just love his mindset. And he's grown so much in the past couple of months. And yeah, please check him out. Let's go to Bay. One moment. Let me see if he's on the screen. Oh! Yeah, if you're new here, Kevin Samuels is Bay. We've got Kevin Samuels, we've got Leader Turdy, and we've got so many others. But yeah, Kevin Samuels is very high up. I hold him very dear to my heart because he talks sense. But can I actually spell his name though? Boy. Kevin, I'm so sorry. Okay, we're back. I know that, K dude, you're about to write something else in it. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, I absolutely love Kevin Samuels. I love his content. I love his mindset. I love his consistency in terms of the message that he shares. And again, I always say that it's as if he sees the gutter in which most of these women are getting into, and he's trying to yank them out, you know, because you can't coddle them out of the gutter, because they think the gutter is home. So he's trying to yank them out with full force. And that's why I love how he approaches the conversation. Okay, let's see what. Men are simple creatures, and the formula to keep one is very easy to deliver. Please tell us, what's the formula? Peace of mind? What else? Fill their bellies? Shut up. Tell us, please. Oh gosh. So yeah, Kevin, I believe he has a video where I think it was Lizzo. Lizzo can say this, but Cam Newton can't. I'm yet to watch that video, but he had this short snippet in his car, so I thought we'd delve a little bit deeper into this conversation before we go into Cam's one. So let us go to him.
It's kind of wild. Talk about Cam Newton. Okay, I'm going to speak about Cam Newton tonight, and a lot of other things, because here's the funny thing, okay, high level. When women have been saying what they want, prefer, or like, championed is empowerment. When men say the same things, it's toxic. When a woman has her preferences, it's just called standards. When a man has his preferences, it's called misogyny. Look, if what he was saying,
misogyny. I think I had to do a little bit of research to find the opposite of misogyny, and I think it's misandry. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. And I think there's a lot of that going on, and people are doing it, and they have been doing it for the longest time, and it's just become like acceptable. Men, you can easily throw them under the bus, you know. But women, oh my God, misogyny. But it's one of these words where I think it has been taken out of context so much, and it's what should I say? It's losing its value. It's like the word narcissistic, or he's a narcissist. Everyone throws that word out there. Just because you are in a toxic relationship doesn't mean that the person was narcissistic, okay? I spoke about this in one of the live streams I did, I think last week, that most of the time, people who are really narcissists, they prey upon, they know exactly who they're trying to select. Are you an empath? Are you codependent? Are you a people pleaser? Why are the women not identifying? Why are the women not identifying their part to play in the suffering if these men are truly narcissistic? So if you're still babbling on, saying it was never your fault and this, that, and the other, then my friend, what you are is toxic, attracting a toxic man. You were never with a narcissistic person, and we shouldn't like water down such a complex issue just like that. Matthew said, yes, men are simple compared to how women envision men to be. Okay, if women could step out of their heads, and consider what men actually want, they would be able to deal with them. Absolutely. And I always say, like, when we listen to understand, the answer is there, you know. Men are saying we just want someone who's friendly, cooperative, fit, smile, all of these stuff. They seem so simple and easy. But behind all of that, you need therapy. Because most of these women are broken because they picked wrong, you know, they've put all these miles on their hearts and on their mind and on their body, you know. They have to peel back all of that before they can see that being friendly is actually the way forward. So I hear you when you say it's so simple. And I'm trying to get women to understand that once you heal, it is simple, but prior to you healing, it can seem very complicated, and it can seem like an attack on you, because you see how far that finish line is. And I know a lot of women say that because they've been with toxic men, they know how to be with a good man. No, you don't. I say that with my full chest. No, you don't. Because if Cam Newton is telling you or saying that a woman knows how to be quiet, that's the first thing in a healthy relationship. You need to know how to be quiet. You need to know how to pick your battles. But here you are saying, just because I was in a toxic relationship, I know a good one when I see it. No, you don't. I said it in another video. I think it was it's complicated reaction. Because when we've been in a toxic relationship, we're used to the whole back and forth. Sorry. He says this, you say it back, verbal abuse here, this, that, and other. But now you're in a healthy relationship. You've expressed your needs to your partner. Your partner receives it, validates it, acknowledges it, puts an action plan in place to help you through it. And now all the things you wanted to say is like, you can't say anything. So if you haven't practiced, or if you haven't assessed your appetite, now you have all these things in you and you want to just stir up drama because you're used to chaos, or the dysfunction has been normalized in your past. Therefore, you're going to bring it to the present and on your current relationship. So yeah, thank you so much, Matthew. I love that. It's so true. This is what I'm trying to get into these ladies' heads, you know. Hopefully we'll get there slowly but surely. Let us continue.
Was so wrong. Why are so many unmarried women so upset? Unmarried women. Unmarried women, okay? What did he basically say? Know how to cook. When did that become an insult? I guess the same time becoming average became an insult. When did he say learn how to keep your mouth closed? Well, don't women want don't women want men to know when to speak up? The opposite of know when to shut up is know how to protect. They don't think about that. I want a man to stand up and protect me. Do you want him to keep his mouth closed? Or do you want him at the right time to do the right thing? The only women who have a problem with this are the women who want to be in a power position. And that's cool. You can get there. There is some beta bell, noodleback out there who will let you be his partner and be the wind beneath his wings. And, you know, I hear this so often from women who are these boss chicks. Anytime I hear the words my truth,
you ain't.
I know we're dealing with the boss chick mentality. Fine. Be a boss chick, enjoy. But my truth, my reality, I don't want somebody to minimize me in any way. Understand something. Relationships minimize. Why? Because it ain't about you no more. Relationships, by their definition, have minimizations because they have boundaries. You want a high-paying job? Guess what? It minimizes you. You want complete freedom? Carry your ass out to the middle of the desert and rough it. You'll be free like a mug. And then tell me what their freedom is worth. See, too often today, we have women who want maximum freedom with minimum responsibility and minimum effort. Men, if men thought this way, we would still be living in caves.
Absolutely.
So, like it or not, the golden rule, he who has the goal makes the rules. And if Cam Newton was Cam Johnson, Cam Newton was Newton Cameron, working first shift down at the plant, we wouldn't be talking about it. It's because he's Cam Newton. It's because he can call the shots. It's because he does what he wants to and has enough money, and they can't cancel him because he has his own money. So I would say to the women who have a problem, what is the problem that you have? The problem that he said what he wants, or the problem you want guys like him? That's the real problem. See, if it wasn't a dude.
You see. This is why I say I love Kevin. He's revealing your hearts. It's because the men that you say you want, that's their mindset. Those are the things that they say they want. But you see how far that finish line is, and you're like, no, let's cancel him so that he doesn't confuse all the other brothers who are like him. Gosh. But the thing is, men are men, and men will continue to have their preferences, especially now that women are so loud about their standards. They will continue to have their preferences. They may not come out and say it like Cam Newton, you know. He didn't even come out and say, hey, this is my preference. He just said, this is what I grew up. And now, like, I watched so many reactions and reviews of this, and people are taking things out of context, like, oh, I bet your mum was beaten at home and this. And I was like, what? Like, what? How did you come up with this? Just because she knew how to cook, just because she knew how to put dad ahead, or, you know, the needs of the home ahead, just because of all these things, all of a sudden she was oppressed in her home. I do not comprehend. Okay. But what Kevin said here, so true. It wouldn't matter if the man saying these things was someone they deemed beneath them. There would not be any outrage whatsoever. But the thing is, because they want those type of men, and they've realized that, oh my God, I could never cook. I will burn the house down. Me, zip my mouth. Hey! Me, put someone else ahead of me. Never. Over my dead body. Okay then. Well, the men you say you want those things. Now what? So this is why there's an uproar. Oh, Kevin.
If you didn't fit the kind of archetype of the kind of man that these women want, they wouldn't care what he thinks. And I think it's funny. If you're upset, if you're hostile, if you're pissed off, if you're triggered, let me ask you one question, ladies. What your husband got to say about that? That's the problem now, ain't it? What your husband, not your baby daddy, not your fiance, not your boyfriend, your husband, the man of value that your last name is his. The man of value that your last name is his. What does your husband have to say about it? And if not, maybe you're really not mad at Cam Newton. Maybe you're a little bit mad at your reality.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't his fault. Ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. All right, nephews. All right, nieces. Tonight.
Ooh. Yeah. This is it. We're mad at ourselves because we don't want to put the work in to attain the outcomes that we say we want, or we still want the outcomes that we say we want. I don't know on what planet that kind of formula works, but clearly in their minds, that formula can work somehow. So yeah, let us see. Let me put this here. If you guys have any questions or things you want me to delve deeper into, just drop it into the chat. But for now, we're about to jump into Cam's his defense, so to speak. Let me just pop this here, Cam Newton. And let's go into his one. Cam Newton. So this video. One moment. Mind you, prior to all of this hoo-ha, I didn't even know who this person was. You know, I was like, what's this Cam Newton thing? You know, who's this Cam Newton? Obviously, when Pullman Podcast posted it, I was like, oh, let me watch it. I watched it, I was like, but he hasn't said anything wrong, or he hasn't said anything unbecoming. Like, what is going on? So that's when it took me down a whole rabbit hole. There was a whole article I found. I will see if I can pop it on the screen. 1 second. Let me see if we can find it. Just hold on one moment for me, please. Cam Newton. Okay, there we go. I'm probably going to go into that one before we go into Cam's defense. Can you guys see it? Yeah, there we go. Can you imagine what this Yahoo Life, Madame Noir? I think I've heard that name before. I think Kevin has mentioned this name before, Madame Noir. Oh, black women. Okay. Even the title alone, Cam Newton thinks women are on earth to cater to a man's needs and know when to STFU. Shut the fuck up. That's not what he said though. You know, he didn't add all this embellishment to it. But yeah, this is what women have turned it into. Obviously, this is where I got my thumbnail from. But yeah, let's see what they said. NFL free agent Cam Newton has caused a stir on social media after his recent comments have gone viral about women needing the ability to be more than a babby. The quarterback's controversial remarks were made in an episode of Barstool Sports' $1 Million Worth of Game podcast that dropped on April 11th. The trending portion of his remarks came after the football player shared that he grew up in a 3-parent household, including his father, mother, and grandmother. I knew what a woman was, not a bad bee. The player said of his upbringing. A bad bee, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they got this one. You don't know when to be quiet. Newton mentioned that he was trying to tear down. He wasn't trying to tear down any queen with his statements, and additionally suggested men to start being men, bro. What is it? Oh, I don't think I can read. Oh no, here it is. Let me see if I can see the rest. I want to know what. Oh, you can't really read the rest of it. Newton is entitled to his opinion, but that doesn't mean his take on what a woman should be and invoke is valid. This is it. Women. Men are telling you what. I think this is the thing. When we hear something we don't like, automatically we're like, yeah, but that doesn't apply to all men. You know? But then, okay. Anyway, while many on Twitter are floundering to defend the quarterback's remarks, others are rightfully so deeming the football player's recent comments as a cake, misogynistic and sexist. But what we need to ask ourselves is, are women who are married to men doing these things that he has said? So that means we as women do not approve of the women who are quiet, know how to put their husbands first, and know how to cook. This is what I'm hearing. So if it's a cake, misogynistic and sexist, then go and pick yourself a modern man. Oh, where we go? You're on the wrong side of the pond to know. I know, right? That's what happened. I was like, who's camnewton? But it's definitely a good conversation for us to unpack, because boy. Also, for the record, women are individually multifaceted and can simultaneously be a bad bee who caters to her man if she so chooses. Yes, lady, if you listened to understand, you would have heard that that's exactly what he said. But because you want to just exchange air and share your opinions, you just repeated exactly what he said. You know, because he did say, do the things that you're doing, but also have relationship skills. That's what he said. But because you know you're lacking in the relationship department, that's why you're triggered. Because you have nothing to show for it. All you have is your degrees. All you have is your what's it called? Your career. But you sleep alone. Or you got a dog. Who knows? Kevin does. Anywho, let's go.
Here recently, I just was scrutinized, bashed, went viral for something that I did and spoke on, but it was a clip that was taken completely out of context. I just wanted to talk to women who have the right to speak on topics like this. You know, here recently, I just was scrutinized, bashed, went viral for something that I did and spoke on, but it was a clip that was taken completely out of context. I think for me, growing up, how I grew up, raising my
baby, it was in context. Everything is good. With your full chest, we support you. Don't worry.
My children, my daughters, the way I raised them is completely different than how I was depicted. And I think that hurts me to the degree, but also tells me where we still are as a society. We are very, very sensitive on topics that needs to be kind of brought to the forefront. And if you
women are sensitive, but again, this is his defense video. He can't say women are sensitive. I can, because I'm a woman and I know we are sensitive, you know, because when it's against the man, oh yeah, you need to man up, you need to toughen up. But when it's against the woman, boy, no matter how soft it is, if they're triggered, and if many of them are triggered, that's it, mate. It can be in context, around context, they will still be upset and you'll be cancelled. So yeah, babe, it's all good.
Use me as a sacrificial lamb. So again, I know my heart, I know my intentions. I never once had this sexist mentality. I never had this, dictatorship mentality towards women. This mentality that women are beneath me, because that's completely false. That narrative being even highlighted is completely against everything that I believe in and do believe in. So, for me to go through what I went through is cool, but I'm thinking I'm using this platform now that I have to reach out to strong women, black, white, interracial, it doesn't matter. Just to prove to the world that I'm completely that, or I'm completely not that you think that I am, but using it in a way to do good to more people, right? And for me, where I am, I think the thing that puts me at ease is knowing that I know my heart, right? I know my true intentions when I was doing that, and I think people don't understand. That whole interview was an hour and 15 minutes long. 1 minute and 20 seconds got highlighted.
Cam, the truth of the matter is, when you understand that people choose to misunderstand you, or just generally, when someone misunderstands a concept, an idea, anything of that matter, what they do is they ask for clarity. Once you have clarified here, if they continue to stay in their ways, if they continue to misjudge you, misjudge your conclusions, your mindset, whatever it is, then that's on them. You cannot get someone to now understand you. That's an inside job. That's for them to do. What you're doing is great. You're taking accountability. You're trying to clear the air, say your piece, because at the end of the day, we don't know what's in your head. But most of us took what you said objectively, and we knew where you were coming from. But again, we appreciate the fact that, you said all these things, but also rest assured knowing that there are people who are committed to misunderstanding you or anything in general, because the minute they understand you or a concept, it requires effort and a change in behavior on their part. And sometimes that isn't something they are ready to do. So there is comfort in misunderstanding you or remaining in that misunderstanding posture, if that makes sense. Because, it's just easier to be mad at you rather than being mad at themselves and the outcome that they will never have. So I just thought I'd put that out there in case you end up, landing on this page. Let's go.
For the world to speak on. I'm like, The View talked about it, ESPN talked about it. That just reminds you that you're not normal, right? So you have to be able to filter what you say and how you say it. But, the thing also is, while we're talking on these topics and while we're viewing or have everything else to say, when you're doing a podcast, there's multiple topics that's being thrown at you at a time. Like, how do you feel about this?
You guys hear him all right in the chat? Let me know. I've put it on full blast, but hopefully you can hear him.
How do you feel about that? Cam, how do you feel about your NFL career? Cam, how do you feel about being a father? You have 7 kids. You have this and you have that.
Oh, you have 7 kids. Okay.
It's being looked at.
Busy.
It's overwhelming to one hand, but also it's like, if you want to scrutinize and look at every single thing that I said, you can't just pick 2 lines. Look at the whole totality. Not only am I bringing awareness to what the bad is, I'm also bringing awareness what a man should be, to the kids, right?
No, darling. Women, when we're triggered, we don't hear anything else. All we hear is that you've triggered us. So we've got to cancel you. We have to silence you so you can be making objective sense. Well, we are triggered. We cannot hear you. What's Matthew saying? People will twist your words to fit a narrative. Exactly. It doesn't help that he isn't the most eloquent man on earth. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you in the sense that, they will twist to fit their own narrative, again, because they're not listening to understand. They're just hearing to respond. They've got all these talking points. shoot, most of these women want to throw narcissism out there. They want to throw misogynistic and sexist out there. So boy, he opened his mouth. He's like, "Yep, let's throw it at him," you know. And I mean, I don't fault him. I don't think he came across not so eloquent, you know. I know you didn't say that, but I'm just saying that I don't think he could have said it any other way for it to be received any better. The fact that you required women to do anything, that was the problem. You cannot require us to do anything. We just want it all. How dare you, Cam Newton? Hold on, let me charge me laptop. Sorry, guys. One moment. Hey, sorry guys, I was just making sure my charger was in there. I can't remember where I was. Yeah, good. Thanks, Matthew. Let's continue. I can't remember where I was, so.
To their families, right? And I'll be the first person to say, did I make a mistake by not going into depth of a certain topic? Yes. I should have said on top of what I also said and mentioned, that not only should a woman know when to be quiet, a man also should know when to be quiet. The whole premise of my
you know, this is this argument where women like to, I don't know if it can fall under deflection, where when you're holding them accountable to something, it's like, well, what about men? You know, I tend to, I wouldn't say stay away from women who have that kind of like, way of thinking. Just because you aren't addressing men, therefore I can't do my part. No. Because at the end of the day, you're a woman. Who cares what the man's doing? Especially if there are men who are already doing the work. We're not talking about the men who are not doing the work. We're talking about the men who have done the work and want women who will do the work. At least that's what my channel is here for. So I don't know if it falls under deflection, but there's this thing where, no, but are you holding men accountable as well? Of course they're being held accountable, but maybe there's a select few that are being held accountable. Maybe there's a select few that are qualified or of high quality. Then that means you as a woman have a lot more work to do. I've got a video coming up with a special guest on next Monday, I believe, 2nd of May. I'm going to have the, the thumbnail up at some point, maybe by the end of the week. We are going to be talking about this because I saw a clip of Olivia Pope, I believe her name is, and Kendra G talking about there not being like sufficient quality men for all these quality women who are out here. Oh, it's going to be really jam-packed with gems, trust me. So I won't go into that, but women, when someone is holding you accountable or when someone is giving you constructive criticism, take it objectively without deflecting and throwing it back at them and say, hey, but are you speaking to the men as well? Because just the fact that they're speaking to the men, does that take the weight off of you? Does that take the work that you need to do off your plate? It absolutely doesn't. You just need to get on with it. You know, just shush and do the work. Let's go.
My tone and how I was talking was this. You can't expect so much from a person and give so little, right? And no matter if you're the breadwinner in your family dynamic as a man, or you're the breadwinner in your family's dynamic as a woman, you gotta uphold your inner department, whether it's being whatever you need to be, right? As a human being, man or female, you should be that. And I think not going into depth like I should have helps me, right? But yet, knowing that there are some men out there that can play, second to a woman who's out there that's the breadwinner, or a female who can play second to a man that is the breadwinner. He's holding it down at the house. A man can hold it down at the house and be a stay-at-home father, and still be looked at as a strong, powerful man, right? So here I am, in this days of.
But the thing is, most of these women can't respect the men that are in those positions. They struggle to respect them, and sometimes they're the ones that they settle for in their old age. Once they've hit the wall and such, they're like, oh, let's just pluck this one, because they're here, Hey, women, it's the truth. When you were in your prime, you would have never looked at the man that you're probably with right now. Oh gosh, I think I'm saying too much. I think the tiredness is coming in. Let's go.
Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? And will I keep doing what I'm supposed to do? And the answer is hell yes. Because I've never wanted to demonize or to shrink the women's power in America. But yet, they come back with saying, ain't this the same dude that got 7 kids? Ain't this the same? I take care of my kids. Ain't this the same dude that, had a sexist remark about a female reporter back in 2017? I apologize.
I saw that one.
If she felt any.
I saw that one, and I noticed that he refers to women as females, because he said a man and female. So if in this respect he had said a man and a woman, then I would have remembered that, okay, so when he was referring to that reporter, he actually meant female, because until I came into these settings, I didn't even know there was a difference between woman, female, and all of that. I just know a lady. And most of these women are not that. Gosh. So the fact that he used the word a man and a female, it just made me understand that his choice of words when he's referring to women is female. He wasn't trying to bring that reporter down and say, you female, how do you know what a blah, blah, blah is? And I thought, he talked about being sarcastic or something like I thought it was, I didn't think he meant funny, ha. I thought it was like, oh, it's interesting that, a woman would know all these things. I think he thought it was quite hot. I thought it was quite hot. That's how I took it. But hey, everyone's different.
Anyway, offended by what I said, but they don't say that. And I'm not here to say tit for tat, but it's a lot of people that's going tit for tat with what I said when their personal dynamic is not as strong as they're making it out to be. So whether you're on ESPN, whether you're on social media, whether you're some type of public figure that has a microphone, and you took this opportunity to bash a black man for something that he said, highlight that. Highlight, me giving back to my community. Highlight, I take full responsibility of the children that I know.
No. But that would mean the black man has a good image. You have to understand the image they're trying to paint is black men ain't shizzle. So why would they highlight the good things that you do? They have the narrative that black men leave the home, because if they don't have that narrative, then all the single women can't, the single mothers can't, or baby mothers, they can't be held accountable, because technically it's because the men left. But now, if all of a sudden they say that, no, actually, most of the men are taking care of their children, even if they're not with the women, all of a sudden that narrative has been dismantled. We can't have that. No, because the younger generation need to know that black men ain't shizzle, So Cam, they're not going to highlight the good stuff. They are going to highlight the bad stuff. And to be fair, this is not bad. You're gonna win the ones that you're gonna win. Me, I didn't know you before, but now I'm like, yeah, you said what you said. You said it with your chest, because those are things that are peanuts, women. These things are peanuts. You should know how to cook, not because you're a woman, but because you want to survive. How do you not know how to cook? You know, I know there are women who don't know how to cook, but how are you surviving, please? Pot noodles? What is it? These are basic skills. And knowing how to be quiet. We need to exercise these things regardless of being in relationships or not. In our friendships, do we know how to just hold space for our friends? That requires us to shut up sometimes, just to let them speak so we can actually hear what's in their minds, so that we can help them properly. How is this a bad thing for him to say? And what was the last one? Put someone ahead of you, like put your husband or your partner's needs ahead of yours. Well, you want him to put you above yours, his. But when it comes to his one, oh no, but you're not a child. But when it came to you, you're a child? What was that? Oh, sorry. Gosh.
Yeah, my children don't go without nothing. There's not a practice that goes by that I don't.
Oh, hold on. Who's this? Who's this? Someone's in the chat. Who's this? Who's this? Someone's in the chat. Hi, Dame C. Salut. Hey. We are cooking here. We have been cooking. You might need to start from the beginning, because it's been a hot live. Like, I'm literally sweating. These women are gonna come for me. They're going to come for me. But I'm ready. Let's go. You're welcome here, Dane. Let's go. Glad to see you smiling. Alrighty, let's go.
Try to practice. There's not an opportunity that goes by that I miss certain things with who and what my children are becoming. You know what I'm saying? Being a true, example of what a man and a father should be. Highlight that. Don't just highlight, oh man, he's a sexist. I got daughters, right? And then when that day comes, when my daughter looks.
Dane? Yeah, sure. It's gonna be here. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you for coming. All right, let's continue.
Back and say, damn, Dad, like, what did you really mean about that? I'm not gonna cower away from saying, well, that just got threw out of context, because they know what a man is. And if I'm not that figure to them that they can go and say, man, I'm dating a man, I'm dating a gentleman that reminds me of my father, because my father was strong. My father was unapologetic. My father was unique to him by the way he expressed himself in his fashion.
Oh, it's very interesting what he said about like real man. It's so interesting how women know what a real man is. They tell men what a real man is. They say it with their full chest. Meanwhile, not exhibiting what a real woman is. So, who really needs to be doing the work? How about men continue to learn how to be these real men, so that when they tell us about themselves, we can listen? And women, when they're letting us know that, hey, this is what we require of wives, because the media has twisted it so much, we need to listen to understand. This is what I'm saying. Yes, you can listen to women tell you about what men want, but it's best to listen to men, because they're the ones that control the access to wifing you up, especially if you want to be married to a marriage-minded man, a healthy man. If you don't want that, then, this video ain't for you. But if you do want to be with a responsible man in a healthy relationship, you're going to have to listen to the other party and know how best you both can work in tandem, But if you don't know how to, is this true? True. And the real man thing usually comes with, exactly. It's always this, they always have this motive behind it. A real man does this. And then it's like, okay, What does a real woman do? I mean, if a man were to say that, a man just did, and you see what's just happened. You just said a real woman knows how to cook. Hey, and that alone, people are crying. God. I don't exist to just pleasure a man's belly. Oh my God. But are you not eating as well, my dear? You're eating. I've got another video coming up actually. A modern woman was chatting some breeze about a man has legs and arms so he can cook for himself. Meanwhile, you're cooking in the kitchen. What's wrong with cooking and giving some to a man? Actually, I ask you, what's your favorite meal? I want to cook your favorite, For me, I like to, when I'm eating, or should I say my appetite is stirred from my mind. So I eat the food in my mind, I envision it here first, and then I start to salivate, then I eat it, like with my eyes, then I actually eat it fully. Oh gosh, so much is coming out today. We like what? We were like, exactly. So how about we just have that discussion? We're like, hey babe, what do you like to eat? Because who knows, he's had a long day at work. He comes home to his favorite meal. That alone has ticked so many boxes. But meanwhile, you're sat here, you want him to do X, Y, and Z. But you can't boil water. Okay, then. I don't know how you're going to get to man. Oh, go.
By the way he expressed himself in his everyday life, that that's the perfect example that I had. Just like I had that perfect example of the household that I grew up in. I said I grew up in a three-parent household. My mom, my father, as well as my grandparents or my grandmother, and they showed me the way. Now people may say, well, if you want that, then date your mom. If you want that, then date your grandmother. No, it's not about that. It's about knowing what you want, and if you really hear the actual the clip, I said that for me. What's for you is what's for you, and that's it. So it's always in things, man. It's a quick little thought. One pinky, one thumb.
Okay. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't think he needed to really go into depth in the sense that, like apology or anything. I don't think he apologized. Yeah, I don't remember he apologizing. But he did add extra context, which I thought was great. But again, when people are committed to misunderstanding you, no amount of objectivity is going to change their minds, dear Cam Newton. But, you did what you did. And in terms of this video, not necessarily what you said in the previous podcast, you did what you did because you are a man of your word. Maybe, you did it for your own sanity. Because sometimes if you don't say anything after the public uproar, then people will continue with this narrative that they do want to paint. Oh, my battery. Gosh, this live stream. I don't want to cut it abruptly. So let me just pop a new battery in one moment. Because I want us to have a conversation. Please bear with me, okay? I'm going to dash this here. Hey y'all. Okay, I am back. Hope you can hear me. So yeah, last remarks. Let's see. If you have any questions or comments, please drop it in the chat. Let's see. I'm so surprised how much hate Cam got for. I know, like I'm still very baffled as to why there's just so much heat on him. But again, this is it. You can't say anything that will trigger women or hold a mirror to women, because most of these women want what they want, and they're not willing to do any work for, you know, the things that they say they want. And it's like, I don't know how they think they're going to attain the things that they say they want. You know, they think they can just manifest, they think they can slap some affirmations, they think they can just do soft life, you know, kumbaya, this. And then all of a sudden, a human being, a full-blown man, will land having no brain of his own. Just, they want a yes man. But at the same time, they want this yes man to be stoic. They want this yes man to be alpha male. But if you want to be with an alpha male, you need to know how to shush. Make it make sense. These women, that's why I say we need men. Because when you leave them in their echo chamber, this will be like, yes, yes. Gosh. Oh my days, this is so true. Yeah. I look back and I'm thinking to myself, I don't understand the uproar. Obviously, at the same time, I do, because women, we don't want we don't like the mirror flip back at us. You know, that's what it is. So that's why he's getting the heat, because it's like, shut up, so that you don't confuse the other men who look like you that we want, so that they don't start to think like you, not knowing that they all think the same. But then it boils down to this: what is wrong with what he said? So if you're triggered, ladies, if you are one of the people who was triggered, please let me know in the comments, and we can have a discussion about that in the comments as well. For everyone who is here today, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. I've had so much fun today, honestly. I've had so much fun. And there's going to be more of this. You know, sometimes when I'm by myself, I'll get some of these topics. If you come across anything that you'd like me to delve a lot deeper into, I'll be excited to do that as well. And then we can have like a little casual gems date on here. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions before we go to bed. I'm going to bed, you know. It's nighttime here. So I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes, and then I'll come back on. No, actually, I'm here. So just let me know if you have any things you want me to talk about, and then we can wrap up. But overall, if you've enjoyed it, please let me know in the chat as well. Hopefully the women will stay. I know nowadays I have more men than women here. I think it's because of the content. But you know, we're not gonna stop, are we? Okay, so I'm just waiting. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think it's bedtime for us all, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. I hope you have too. And I'll see you very, very soon in another live stream. So take care and God bless. Bye.